As the evidence has shown, it is clear that Lady Macbeth led Macbeth down a path of murder and treason that he would not have traveled had it not been for her influence. The evidence also shows that Lady Macbeth herself committed the crimes of treason and accessory to murder. Her own words on her plans to manipulate her husband, the persuasion of her husband to commit the crime, and her own guilt in the murder all show this. My client Macbeth is a good-hearted, loyal, and brave man. Though I cannot deny that he was the one who wielded the knife in the death of King Duncan, the idea and ultimately the murder itself were orchestrated by his despicable wife. When presented with even the slightest possibility of queendom, she took the ambitious nature of my client and twisted it to her own satisfaction. Macbeth was unfailingly loyal to King Duncan. In fact, the day the crime occurred, Macbeth had just returned from a hard-won battle against Macdonald, a traitor to the king. It was only when Macbeth was in the company of his wife that the possibility of murder was put into his mind. Even after a plan was laid out for him by Lady Macbeth, he was understandably hesitant. If Lady Macbeth had not been present and involved, then Macbeth would not have gone through with the murder of King Duncan, and Scotland would not have suffered as it did. There is no question as to the character of Lady Macbeth. She has shown herself on multiple occasions to be cruel, power-hungry, and manipulative towards those around her. She is no person. She is a monster in human skin, and if anyone thinks otherwise after hearing the evidence presented, you are being manipulated by her just as my client was. Please, take into the account the evidence that I have presented when sentencing Macbeth. He is not the sole perpetrator, nor the mastermind of Duncan's horrific murder. Instead, Macbeth is a good and honest man who was led into a terrible situation by someone he loved and trusted, his own wife.